the biggest glaring point was that how is it that I'm at this big age, I'm at this adult age, at the time 27, and I don't know how to be alone. Good morning. I had somebody come in to my group, my private group, and ask the question. One of the widows asked, how do you move forward when your husband was there daily? And that's something that I definitely had to think about, because it is something that I did. It is something that I went through, but it wasn't something that, it's not a question I've ever answered specifically. I did have to move forward because, because he was there daily, and he was part of my everyday life, like he was there in the morning, there in the evening. He was my best friend. So he was part of everything I did. Like, he was part of my thought process, my daily movement, my schedule, my daily interactions, my deep conversations, the things that I relied on for a best friend, a partner, a co-parent, a husband, all the things. And so how to move forward when somebody was all of those things. I've said it before, and I don't think it was obvious to me in the same way when it was me. When it was me in the beginning, the biggest glaring point was that how is it that I'm at this big age, I'm at this adult age of, at the time 27, and I don't know how to be alone. And I criticized myself, and I felt bad about the dependence that marriage had given me. And I felt ashamed that I had not established a persona, habits, hobbies, contingencies, support outside my marriage. And that was the wrong approach, because basically it threw me into a depression. And I had a lot more healing to do than just grief. I had to heal around not knowing who I was. And a lot of us have to do that. However, I don't think that the correct approach was to chastise myself. It was to actually analyze why I hadn't created my own persona, support system, and habits and hobbies outside and inside my marriage as an individual, and to take those things into consideration. Reasons why? Well, because I had him, duh. But other reasons why were because he did it so well. And I had never had that before in my life. I went from being a teenager to being married. I got married very young. I met him when I was 19. This isn't an excuse, it's a picture. We need to stop thinking about the painting of the picture that created the art that you see now, the picture that you see now, the painting of it, the gathering of the specific colors. They are reasons, they are supporting factors, they are not excuses. And it is what it is, pretty much. And that was the reason. Now it becomes an excuse if I stay there. Oh, I was very young. I'm not, at the time that young anymore. So what can I do about it? Oh, he was the only one that understood me. Okay, so he's not here. So what am I going to do about it? That's the next step. But first, understand your reasons. Think about your reasons. Sit in your reasons for how you got here. And don't blame yourself for them. Don't chastise yourself for them, because what good does it do? How does that help you to be, angry at yourself for whatever you don't have now, right? So I think moving forward is first looking back and understanding how you got to where you got and what you can do differently going forward. And going forward, doing differently calls for introspection to figure out, well, what have you got inside to apply to this solution? And I think it also requires grace to say, okay, that was then and this is now. I forgive whatever I became out of habit. I forgive the need to have been this independent woman, all the things. I did what I did because it was right for me. Moving on, moving forward, what am I going to do now? What's right for me, obviously. So what's right for my family, obviously. And so starting to build your habits, your daily movement, your thought processes, and your love for yourself around what's good for you now and your family now, I think is where you start. Now, there's a lot of work to be done as far as really getting in deep and figuring out what's going to be fulfilling to me, what's going to complete my days, what am I going to invest in that isn't temporary, unfortunately, like depending on other people. So in answer to your question, how do you move forward when he was there every day, when he was such a big part of your life, is to think about who you were at that time and how you got to be, I'm not going to say that dependent, because again, that's like beating up on you. What I'm going to say is, what didn't you do in the areas of growing yourself, in the areas of supporting yourself, finding out how to have support, and doing what's best for your family with the capacity that, what if you didn't have another person to do that? Like, what parts didn't need development at the time? What parts were those? Because once you highlight what you did then and compare it with what you're able to do now, then the wheels start turning. It's not an easy, oh, I know now, that's why I'm a coach. That's what I help people do. But it's definitely the first step. How did I get here? What am I willing to do about it? What do I want going forward? What am I willing to do to manifest what I want going forward? And therein lies the path to moving forward. The first step.